Should the Minnesota Vikings target former Green Bay Packers corner Jaire Alexander? That's coming up on today's episode. But first, I need you to check out 5-Star Bath Solutions in Minneapolis if you need a bathroom transformation, because they will transform your bathroom in 48 hours. Don't wait 6 to 8 weeks for a bathroom transformation. Get a full remodel like my wife and I did in 48 hours. Our previous bathroom, it had all the crap going on. It was a nasty, disgusting look. Blue floors, moldy shower, ugly bathtub with stains all over it, a one sink, disgusting vanity, and voila, they remodeled the bathroom in 48 hours. New floor, new surround, new tub, went from one sink to 2 sinks, which is our favorite feature, and a new vanity. All of this was done in 48 hours, and we had our bathroom back within days, and it costs either the same or even less than a project that would take 8 weeks. Affordable payment plans, free consultations, 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. They're called 5-Star for a reason, because they will transform your bathroom in 48 hours. 5-Star Bath Solutions of Minneapolis. All right, Jaire Alexander is a free agent, and the Minnesota Vikings have been rumored to be seeking a corner really all offseason. And they added Isaiah Rodgers Sr. from the Eagles after they signed him in free agency. And Jalen Ramsey has been rumored to the Vikings, with the Dolphins looking to ship him to some different team. And you got the pass with Brian Flores and the whole thing. But now Jaire Alexander is a free agent after the Packers could not trade him or come up with a contract negotiation or whatever the case may be, whatever they're trying to do. And the question is, should the Minnesota Vikings pursue Jaire Alexander as a starting corner? And everyone knows the history of Packers players joining the Vikings. And the truth is, Packers players or the Packers organization pisses off players as they leave. And to be honest, the Packers, they're a smart organization. They don't pay players past the time when they should. They got off Aaron Rodgers at a great time. They got off Brett Favre at a great time. Aaron Jones had a great season with the Vikings last year, but they brought in Josh Jacobs. The Packers really are a great organization in terms of, okay, we are not going to hold too tightly to this player. And there's a lot of other organizations that could learn from them. Greg Jennings is another one. And you look at Jaire, what he's done with the Packers recently, and his biggest issue has been staying on the field. Last year, he played 7 games. 2 years ago, he played 7 games. 3 years ago, he played 16 games. 4 years ago, he only played 4 games. So in the last 4 years, the dude has hardly played a full season. 3 out of the last 4 years, he's played 7 or less games. So staying on the field is a big concern if the Vikings want to bring Jaire Alexander in. And here's why I think they should bring him in. They should bring Jaire Alexander in to the Minnesota Vikings, have him match up with Justin Jefferson one-on-one, have Justin Jefferson dominate him, school him, show him all of his nasty stuff, and then release him. And then say, bye-bye, suck on this. That's what I'm saying.
Huh?
The Vikings should sign Jaire Alexander to a veteran minimum contract with no guarantees, bring him into practice, have Justin Jefferson gritty all over his ass, and then cut him. That would be the ultimate move. But seriously, you look at Jaire Alexander and you look at what he provides a team when he's healthy, and it's legitimate defense. And it's a cocky attitude. And I found this stat on NFL.com, an article written. It says, When Alexander has been matched up one-on-one with Jefferson, the corner has slowed the best wideout in the league, but it is a small sample size. Per Next Gen Stats, Jefferson has 1 catch and 12 receiving yards on 5 targets in 23 career coverage snaps, with Alexander as the nearest defender. In Week 7 last season, Alexander hit a gritty after a pass breakup against Jefferson. So the dude likes to mock players. Jefferson has talked about it. Jefferson, quote, recently last year says, I mean, it is what it is. Just like I said, he likes to do that stuff to get inside someone's head. I'm not really tripping on that. I'm just going to get my back by grittying in the end zone. So I'm not tripping on it at all. I'm excited for the matchup. Jefferson has averaged 76.7 receiving yards per game in 7 contests against the Packers. He averages 100 yards per game versus all other opponents in 56 games. So it's clear that Jaire has talent. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, but his biggest problem is staying on the football field. It seems like he is destined to miss large chunks of time throughout almost every NFL season he's played in. Now, an advantage to signing Jaire to a contract is he is only 28 years old next year. So he's relatively still in his prime years and at least has 1 more or 2 more good seasons left if he can stay healthy and remain on the football field. So that's another thing to consider for the Vikings. Now, looking at the Vikings roster, they got Byron Murphy. They signed him back. Isaiah Rodgers Sr., they signed him. And he is largely a question mark because I think he had a gambling issue of some sorts or had some off-the-field issue and missed a large chunk of time. But it looks like the Vikings are doing their classic buy his stock low. And he's hoping to have a breakout year to sign somewhere big the following year. And they've got Mekhi Blackman coming off of a torn ACL. And the cornerback room is decent. I wouldn't say is elite. And looking around the Vikings roster, defensively and offensively, it is one of the weaker spots still on the roster. Safety, Harrison Smith, Josh Metellus, Theo Jackson. That's another weaker area on the Vikings roster. Not that Josh Metellus is weak, but Harrison Smith is not the player that he once was. And Theo Jackson showed glimpses of being a good player last year. He had an interception versus Seattle. But him playing a role of every single down, every single play is going to ask a lot of him. So there's no doubt that the secondary area in the Vikings organization on their roster is still the weakest part of the football team because they shored up the offensive and defensive lines. The linebackers are good. The receivers, tight ends are good. The running backs are good. The secondary is the weakest. So I don't see how you could go wrong with bringing in Jaire Alexander on a 1-year contract. And Packers players have a history of being a part of the Vikings organization because they get bitter and sour when the Packers cut them and they want their payback. It's just human nature. So Jaire wants to be a Viking, just like Greg Jennings, just like Zadarius Smith, just like not Mason Crosby. Who's the kicker? Ryan Longwell. Player after Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers wanted to be a Viking. Player after player that gets cut by the Packers wants to join the Vikings. It's human nature to have that sweet revenge factor in your mind. And the Vikings have a good roster. So it's not like Jaire is going to join a terrible roster either. So he wants to be a Viking. Another quick story. Jason Kidd. The Knicks want to interview Jason Kidd and bring him in to replace Tom Thibodeau after they fired him once they reach the Eastern Conference Finals. And everyone's wondering, oh, why did they fire Thibodeau? And it's the reason why he got fired from Chicago, Minnesota. He's almost guaranteed a playoff spot. The guy always makes the playoffs, but he burns people out within the building. The dude is too tough. He's too much of a headache. So people think that he's not worth the headache of making it to the playoffs, and they find someone else that could replace him. Same story, different team. He'll probably do it again. He'll probably go to another team that is kind of somewhat of a playoff team, but not really. He'll take him to the playoffs. They'll fire him in a few years. Now they want Jason Kidd. And the question that people are trying to answer right now is if Jason Kidd wants the Knicks. And the answer is very easy. Jason Kidd wants to coach the Knicks. He was a former player. The Knicks have a better roster. There's more certainty with the Knicks. And they play in the Eastern Conference, which is far more weaker than the Western Conference. Just compare the rosters. Sure, the Mavericks have the number 1 overall pick and they'll draft Cooper Flag or trade up for Giannis. But 2, Kyrie Irving is coming off a torn ACL. Anthony Davis is always hurt with something. And sure, you have the number 1 overall pick, Cooper Flag, but is he going to be ready to make an NBA Finals impact right away? No. So Jason Kidd, after the Mavericks departed with their superstar franchise cornerstone player that might win MVPs one day, and that will certainly be a Hall of Famer, Luka Doncic, after they traded him, Jason Kidd's a little bitter, and he wants to be somewhere else. And when the Knicks come calling, he wants to go. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges. The Knicks roster is better than the Mavericks, and they're in a position in the Eastern Conference that allows them to have a much better chance to make a run at an NBA championship. So Jason Kidd wants the Knicks. The Knicks want Jason Kidd. It really boils down to what happens within the Dallas Mavericks organization. Are they going to be willing to depart with Jason Kidd, bring back some draft capital, because the Knicks would have to give up some first-round picks to acquire him, and then you try to find his replacement and make a run with Kyrie, Anthony Davis, and Cooper Flag? But the answer is obvious. This is one of the most obvious answers in the history of sports. Jason Kidd wants the Knicks, and the Knicks want Jason Kidd. And the reasons are fairly simple. Kyrie Irving coming off a torn ACL. Anthony Davis always hurt. And that's the core of the Mavericks roster. I don't want that core. That sucks. Not that they're not superstar players, but they're always hurt. How can you enter an NBA season knowing for certain that they are going to be 100% healthy come playoff time? And the Western Conference isn't getting any easier. So if they're not healthy throughout the regular season, then there's a chance that you're not even in the playoffs to begin with. So it's very simple. Jason Kidd wants the Knicks, and the Knicks want Jason Kidd. All right, thanks for watching. Remember, 5-Star Bass Solutions of Minneapolis. Check them out today. 5-Star Bass Solutions of Minneapolis. They will transform your bathroom in 48 hours. You'll love it. Affordable payment plans, free consultations. Check them out today. 5-Star Bass Solutions of Minneapolis.